So Agni works as an agent of Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna. He also works as the mouth of Lord Vishnu. So when we offer something into the fire saying Swaha, means I offer something with my love and devotion, then Lord Agni will take that offering on your behalf is to the Lord. So according to the scriptures, as we have heard, this is the best spiritual method of worshipping the Supreme Lord. Today we're very fortunate to have so many devotees. Of course, your spiritual master, so he's here today. So of course, Margie will be speaking something. So we'll begin by doing Achman. If you could please pass Achman cup. The way we take shower, we take bath every morning to purify our body. Similarly, we purify within and without. Taking bath through this Gangas also, please do normal Achman as you normally do it. Om Gaisavaya Namaha. Om Narayana Namaha. Om Madhavaya Namaha. Om Hastavakshalam Samarpyami Govindaya Namo Namaha. Please take these flowers to Mataji. We take Sankalpa. In the ceremony, we always say Sankalpa to fix our mind. Also, it's a vow that on this day, the most important day of our lives, I would say, in this session is taking birth, rebirth. We take vow to always worship Srila Prabhupada, always keep Srila Prabhupada in the center of our life, our Guru in the center of our life, instructions in the center of our life. We always remember the instructions, we never forget. So we take Sankalpa. Sankalpa fixes our mind with determination for any performance of an activity is called Sankalpa. So your right hand, if I may wish to put your right hand, stop with your left hand, touch your right knee. So I'll be chanting the mantras where, when this ceremony is taking place. And I will basically declare. Hari Om Tassadom Vishnu 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 Srimat Bhagavato Mahapurana Purusasya Vishnu Ragyaya Pravartamanasa Sakala Jagata Srishti Karino Brahmano Ditya Prate Sri Shweta Brahakalpe Vaivasito Manamantare Astabim Satitami Kalyuge Kalipatamajarane Jambudvipe England Vershe London Sare Sri Sri Radha Landaneswar Mandir Sthite Nama Aham Mamaha Surti Smriti Puranokta Flaptatam Mamaha Sakutumbasya Saparivarasya Adhyatmika Adidaivika Adibhautika Tirithapasamanartham Dharmartha Kama Moksha Chaturvida Purushartha Siddhartham Sri Krishna Prema Praptartham Vayam Diksha Sanskara Karmaha Karishyami. Just leave it on the floor, just in front of you. If you can't, rinse your hand. Now, if I may request Maharaj to please speak about the importance of initiation.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Bhutale Shamati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurani Pujari Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vasvijaya Shatane Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vajkapatru Kritu Sindhu Vyadevacha. Harinam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you. Yes, devotees, so here we are for very, very auspicious initiation ceremony. We have Mataji Bhakti Ina, who's a member of the Yatra here in London, and Prabhuji Dhiradatta, excuse me, who already actually received initiation some time before. So it's a very, very auspicious and wonderful occasion in that in the initiation ceremony, the devotee is connected more strongly to the parampara, to the disciplic succession, through which the mercy comes, through which the mercy descends. Actually, of course, before initiation, sometimes there's a little confusion about a person who's not initiated yet. Do they have any position in Krishna consciousness, or are they just sort of on the material level, something like that? But it's not like that, because before first initiation, the devotees are worshipping Srila Prabhupada, taking shelter of Prabhupada, serving Prabhupada in Srila Prabhupada's movement. So, chanting Prabhupada's Pranam mantras. So connection is certainly there, even prior to the first initiation. And then another type of misunderstanding, which is sometimes there, or maybe more in the past, really, going back like quite some years, was that when you're first initiated by one of Prabhupada's disciples or a current initiating spiritual master, that now that person is your spiritual master, and like you're just automatically your main spiritual master, and Srila Prabhupada is sort of, he's there somewhere, but in a lesser type of role than previously before you're initiated. But that's also not really accurate. In the first initiation, at least, it is simply an addition. Prabhupada remains there on a very foundational level in the life of the devotee who's now being first initiated. And there's the addition of the initiating spiritual master. And even, it's an important point that the initiating spiritual master generally, they can help the disciple appreciate Prabhupada more and help the disciple come closer to Srila Prabhupada, which is always at least extremely valuable, and it's extremely important, because Prabhupada is our founder Acharya, and his position is really foundational in our lives. So, but certainly the first initiation really strengthens and deepens the connection that the devotee already has to some degree with the disciplic succession, parampara. And this is how the mercy flows down through parampara. You get people who are not connected with parampara. They're just people who try to worship God. And they may pray to God for this or that. That's very common. So many people are somewhat religious. But without a connection through parampara, the connection is really, well, it's a little difficult to say what is, or if there is, at least in many cases, it's a good question if there's a connection with the Lord. And if there is, if they have some sincerity, then the depth of the connection is really, it's not likely, at least, to be very deep, because a direct connection is not really part of the process of approaching God. We approach via the devotees. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Prabhupada's spiritual master, one time, he was doing a tour of India, traveling by train, and he stopped in one place to do a program that night. And the devotees told him, that just nearby, there's one Ram Bhakta And he just chants Ram, Ram, Ram. And that's just what he does. And that's practically all he does. So he's really special devotee of Lord Ram. And we want you to meet him. So they insisted. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta went and met that person who was chanting Ram, Ram, Ram. But they spoke momentarily. And all Srila Bhaktisiddhanta asked him was, is your connection with Lord Ram, is it direct or is it through anyone? And the devotee said, oh, it's direct. It's direct. You know, in a sort of mood like, oh, yes, of course. Like it's, oh, no, it's not through anyone. That sort of idea. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta didn't get into it. He just said, oh, all right. And he got up and left. And the devotees went with him, and as he was leaving after he just left, he stopped. And he said, I don't think he is bona fide. So, yeah, the connection, our connection is through parampara. And any idea of any other type of connection with the Lord, you know, at best, it's just, we wouldn't really expect it to be much at all, if anything at all. Really, certainly not much, but through parampara, through the disciplic succession, a real connection is made, and the mercy comes down. It's just like a pipeline flowing down into the heart of the devotee, the initiated devotee. It's just wonderful. And when the devotee offers, like devotees offer food, sometimes at home at least, like Bhakti Ina, she has her place where she lives in Battersea, so she offers her food every day. Yes, so the food is offered through the disciplic succession, and the understanding is it's like parampara, but you know, from the other perspective, now you're offering up to Krishna through the parampara. And you might think, you know, there's so many members of the parampara in between before it gets to Krishna. But the thing is that generally in the parampara, the members of the parampara, they're transparent via media. And therefore, the offering, it doesn't just go like from one to the next one, and then to the next one, and then to the next one. And, you know, maybe half an hour later it reaches Krishna or something like that. It's instantaneous. It's instantaneous. It's just, you offer, Krishna's got it. Krishna's taking it. And the point here is, well, that's a point in and of itself, but a very important point is that when we offer, like food, or when we offer any service, whatever it may be, like even like book distribution, our motives may not always be absolutely pure. You know, I remember when I was living here in the 70s, and book distribution began for a while when I joined. It was very, very little, extremely little. But then the word came from America, and book distribution became just a huge thing in England. And in the marathons, gosh, the devotees, what they would do was incredible. But some devotees would get a little influenced by something other than just like a truly pure desire to distribute the mercy and please Prabhupada. I remember one occasion, I won't mention any names. A team of devotees was out on traveling Sankirtan They were chanting, they were walking around chanting their rounds. And one of them went back to the van early. They came back to the van a little later and they found, what did they find? The van was locked. The other devotee had the keys and he had taken books and gone out to distribute already and locked the van so they couldn't get into the van. In other words, he wanted to beat them, if you get the idea. Or how about tying their shoes together so it's just impossible to untie them? Or how about going up to people who are being shown a book and telling the person, don't buy it. So these things sometimes happen. And it's, it's not the best, really. It's really not the best. So, but anyway, devotees are trying to render service. And even, for example, sometimes when devotees cook, they may look at what they're cooking and thinking, oh, I wonder what it's going to taste like. Some material motivations may be there, at least to some degree, sometimes. But all that is cleansed away by offering through the disciplic succession. The spiritual master and the members of the parampara, they're very merciful, and their service is somehow or other, by one means or another, help the disciple to become purified. So they purify the offering as it's going up to the Lord. So the Lord receives a completely pure offering, and actually offered with pure love from the members of the parampara. So you see, it works both ways. Mercy coming down, and then also when you're rendering service. And you get the benefit. You get the benefit from the Lord of pure service. So it's really beneficial, it's extremely beneficial to be nicely connected in disciplic succession, and that is done. Important element, at least in the picture, is to be initiated officially. Prabhupada was asked once in the early days, I think it was Hayagriva, asked Prabhupada, what's the difference between being initiated and like in university, you don't have to register for the course, and you don't have to. You can still attend the lectures. Generally, in most countries, anyone can attend the lectures, and you can buy the books, of course, for the whole course. So, so you could do the whole thing. So what's the difference between being initiated and not being initiated in that sense? And Prabhupada said, yes, there are elements of truth in that, but the thing is, if you don't register for the course, you can't get the degree. They're not going to give you a degree. If you just come in and say, well, I attended all the lectures, I read all the books, so give me a degree. If you don't actually register and do the course in that way, you won't get the degree. So Prabhupada gave that example himself, just to give us an idea. It's not an absolute type of example, but it gives us an idea of the difference. So, when a devotee receives first initiation, they receive a few things. They receive the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And many devotees who I've spoken with, shortly after they were initiated, like a week or a couple of weeks, they've told me that now we've been initiated, our chanting has become better. It's like an objective reality. My chanting is really better. Yeah, so that's there. Then, of course, one receives, the most, you could say, exciting, interesting part of first initiation is the devotee gets a spiritual name. That's nice. Yeah. So that's going to happen shortly. Then, of course, the devotee takes vows to chant 16 rounds a day, to follow the, no less than 16 rounds a day. More is permissible. And to follow the regulative principles. No intoxication, no illicit sex life, no gambling, no meat eating, and related, like that. So these vows are there, and they're important vows. And Prabhupada, occasionally devotees who had sort of drifted away from Krishna consciousness, occasionally some of them would come and visit Prabhupada, and he would receive them differently depending on their attitudes. But there are a few cases which, again, you can look up in the Veda base or in the Lila Mita, in which Srila Prabhupada, that the person says to Prabhupada, well, I found it too difficult to follow some regulative principle. And Prabhupada says, but you vowed to do it. And the person says, yes, well, I just found it too difficult. And Prabhupada doesn't accept that. He doesn't accept that as a sort of acceptable excuse that, I see, you found it too difficult, that's all right then. No, it's not all right then. If you take a vow, you take a vow, and that's what you've done. And therefore there are witnesses. So, knowing Bhakti Hina at least, fairly well by now, I don't expect anything like that to happen. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. But it's true. But anyway, with any devotee, initiated devotee, if you see that sort of getting sidetracked, getting distracted, then you can always remind them, I was there when you gave your vow. So what are you doing? Yeah. So anyway, Bhakti Hina's nice devotee. She's been practicing Krishna consciousness for some time. And I think many of you know her personally, I think. And she's a hard-working person. She's been trying to help the devotees, the refugees coming from Ukraine. I was there just 3 weeks ago, and sure, Krishna, it's not easy. Maybe some of you are from Ukraine. Well, you are, aren't you? And it's not easy. For those who are left there, it's really not easy. So she's been helping the refugees, and sometimes, it's been very demanding for her. Yeah, very demanding for her. Going way out of her way to help the devotees. So she's a good soul. And she's receiving first initiation today. And we ask you all devotees, please give her your blessings. Srila Prabhupada ki. And Dhiradatta Prabhu, you received second initiation, am I right? Just recently.
That's right, yeah.
Right, good. It's good. I've met him, but I don't really know him. Let us offer him our blessings also. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. May Krishna smile on him. So, okay. Now, we'll do the vows. What shall we do now? Or you want to do Achman and...
I'll just light the lamp and invite Lord BCAIS, and then if you could give the name and someone could come and put the kanti before Maharaj, I think it's the name.
And you did Achman, did you? For Achman?
Yeah, Mataji has done the Achman.
Okay.
I'm going to light the lamp, which will remain as a witness for today's ceremony. Lamp in the form of Lord Brahma, the creator of this universe. I will request him to stay alive as long as this beautiful ceremony lasts today. And I would like to thank you and congratulate you for these beautiful degrees that you have just received. So let's keep it within our hearts, not only today and tomorrow, but forever. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Divaya Namaha, Karma Sakshivaya Namaha, Om Varupa Varmarupastam, Karma Sakshivaya Vinakirtah, Yavat Puja Samapti Swattavattam Sustirabhavam, Om Suvam Kardikalyanam, Arogyam Darsam Padagyanam, Dirga Saya Diva Jyoti Janardana, Diva Jyoti Prabhrahma, Diva Jyoti Janardana, Dipo Haratume Papam Sandhya, Dipo Namasudem, Dipaya Namaha, Karma Sakshivaya Namaha. Om BCAIS Namaha Yavaha Yavaha Yatistaya Tistaya Snideya Snideya Sniruddhasya Sniruddhasya Smukabhava Smukabhava. Om Masya Dviratavakradhya Parisadhya Parisadam Vignam Nignanti Satatam BCAIS Samasya Avayami Stavyami Sarvapachararte Smukdaspani Samarvyami Idam Swagatam Samarvyami Idam Asanam Samarvyami Idam Arghyam Samarvyami Idam Padhyam Samarvyami Idam Achmanyam Samarvyami Idam Madhuparkam Samarvyami Idam Snanam Samarvyami Idam Vastram Samarvyami Idam Yaghmopavetam Samarvyami Idam Alankaram Samarvyami Idam Gandham Samarvyami Idam Puspam Samarvyami Idam Dhupam Samarvyami Idam Deepam Samarvyami Idam Naivedyam Nivedyami Idam Namaskaram Samarvyami Om Pushpa Pushpe Mahapuspe Swapuspe Pushpa Samavedam Pushpam Samarvyami Om BCAIS Namaha. Now, if I request one of the Matajis to please come and put Kanti Mala too. Om Krishna Vai Sachidanandagana Krishna Adipurusha Krishna Purushattama Krishna Uparamaadimulam Krishna Sahasarvikariha Krishna Kasankridadi Samukha Prabhupajya Krishna Nadisa Tasmina Janantarvaye Yamangalam Tarlavate Kriti. When you come, if I may request to please offer your obeisances to your spiritual master, just let go of your spiritual master.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
How nice. Very nice. Okay. So, first of all, please tell us what are the 4 regular principles you're vowing today to follow for the rest of your life?
Today, Shri please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. All glories to you. Today, I vow never to eat any meat, fish or eggs, garlic, onion, tea, coffee. Today, I also vow not to take any intoxication of any kind. I also vow never have to any illicit sex. And I vow to chant 16, never less than 16 rounds.
Right. There's just one of the four. Just think. You got, what did you get? A meat intoxicating. Gambling. Oh, no gambling. Who cares about gambling? It's not really. Generally, it's not a problem. I know it is for some, but generally not. All right, and not less than 16 rounds, right? Yes. Very good. Okay, so I'm going to give you a name, very nice name, of one, you could say, devotee of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan, who is a, what would you say? Well, what you'd say really, who is a big manager. You've got managerial capabilities, which is good, very good. She has really big managerial capabilities, and she manifests in different forms, in different places, to do that, to manage the pastimes of Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna. Right. And sometimes she does, very incredible management, which is like, what on earth happened here? How could that be? That sort of expertise. And I just want to mention something and even maybe read a verse or two here. This is actually from Lalita Madhava, right at the very end of Lalita Madhava, where in fact, at least according to Lalita Madhava, Srila Rupa Goswami, Radha and Krishna in Dwaraka are married. They're married. Yeah. Anyway, it's a pastime. And so now they are married. And Krishna turns to Srimati Radharani and says, please ask a favor of me. What can I do to please you? So Radharani asks for two things. She asks that those people who are staying in Vrindavan and yearning to attain you and serve you, then please appear before their eyes. And then the second thing she asks is that there in Vrindavan, where you enjoy pastimes, I'm just abbreviating it, please always enjoy transcendental pastimes with us gopis, whose hearts are overcome with love for you. And Krishna says, tatasto. He says, actually, beloved, so be it. And then Radharani, because this is Dwaraka, and she's asked for that they can enjoy pastimes in Gokula and Vrindavan. So she asks, how will that be? We're now in Dwaraka. How will we go to Vrindavan from here? And, to see that, because this is a drama, to see it done as a drama, my gosh, what an experience that would be. Krishna looks to the right, and from the right comes a personality named Ekanamsa, who is a form of Purnamasi. And she comes on, she throws the curtain aside and just comes on. It's dramatic. And she says to Radharani, she says, friend Radha, do not doubt. At this they're in Dwaraka. At this moment, you're standing in the beautiful and opulent abode of Gokula. Although by the power of time, I've arranged it in a different way. This truth you'll be able to see directly within your heart. Please understand that you're in Vrindavan and your Krishna is standing by your side. So, this is inconceivable. They're in Dwaraka. But no, you're in Vrindavan. This is Purnamasi. She is the presiding deity of the internal potency of the Lord, manifesting in different forms in different places, but always managing the pastimes. And even in ways which are just, one might think, even philosophically, one might think that that's not how it's meant to be, but it is. Yeah, so anyway, having said all of that, from today on, your name will be Purnamasi Devi Dasi. Purnamasi Devi Dasi King.
If I may also request you to offer your obeisances before the ceremony, Prabhupada, and also my spiritual master. Thank you. So we're going to create a spiritual atmosphere by chanting Swastivasana and Sankti Panchakam. And we pray to Radhalanandeswara so we can conduct the ceremony without any obstacles. Om Mavakchandute Bhutai Bhuta Bhove Samastutahi Bhuta Vignikartaraste Gachanti Asnaya Hari Hari Om. Swastivasana.
Swastivasana.
Om Samno Mitro Samvaruna Samno Bhavatvaryama Samno Indro Virajvati Samno Vishnu Rurukarma Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tomeva Prataksham Brahmasi Tomeva Prataksham Brahma Vadishyami Vrittama Vadishyami Satyama Vadishyami Tanma Bhavatu Tad Bhaktaram Bhavatu Bhavatu Ma Bhavatu Bhaktaram Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Samno Mitro Samvaruna Samno Bhavatvaryama Samno Indro Virajpati Samno Vishnu Rurukarma Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tomeva Prataksham Brahmasi Tomeva Prataksham Brahma Vadisam Rittama Vadisam Satyama Vadisam Tanma Mavit Tad Bhaktaram Avit Avinmam Avin Bhaktaram Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviyam Karvavahi Tejasvinamadhitamastu Ma Viddhisavahi Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Tatcham Vyora Vinimaya Gatum Yagyayam Gatum Yagyavadaye Dvevi Swastirastuna Swasti Manusabhya Urdham Jigatu Vesedam Samavastu Davipade Samjadushpade Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Punantu Mam Devajana Punantu Manasadiha Punantu Vishwabhutani Jataveda Punemam
ओम मत्स्य कर्मणा पुण्यम भवन्तो ब्रुवन्तो ओम पुण्यहम ओम पुण्यहम ओम पुण्यहम ओम उद्गत एव शकुने समगायेसि ब्रह्मपुत्र सम्नेषु संससि वृषेव वाजी शिशुमतिरविद्या सर्वतो न शकुने भद्रमवादे विश्वतो न शकुने पुण्यमवादे ओम मत्स्य कर्मणा स्वस्ति भवन्तो ब्रुवन्तो आयुष्मते स्वस्ति ओम स्वस्ति ओम स्वस्ति ओम स्वस्ति ओम स्वस्ति नो इंद्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नो पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नो तारक्ष्वरिष्ठनेमि स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पति ददातु ओम मत्स्य कर्मणारित्यं भवन्तो ब्रुवन्तो ओम रिद्यताम् ओम रिद्यताम् ओम रिद्यताम् ओम रिद्ध्यं स्तोमं सनुयमवचं मनो मन्त्रं सरतिहोपयातं यशो नवक्कं मधुगो सन्तर् अभूतां स्वस्तिनो काममप्राह ओम स्वस्तिनो गोविन्दो स्वस्तिनो अच्युतानन्दो स्वस्तिनो वासुदेवो विष्णु ददातु स्वस्तिनो नारायण नरो वै स्वस्तिनो पद्मनाभ पुरुषोत्तम ददातु स्वस्तिनो विशुक्सेन विश्वेश्वरा स्वस्तिनो ऋषिकेशो हरिर्ददातु स्वस्तिनो वैनतेयो हरि स्वस्तिनो अंजनसुत हनुर्भगवतो ददातु स्वस्ति स्वस्ति सुमंगलैकेशो महान् श्री कृष्ण सच्चिद आनंदगण सर्वेश्वरेश्वर ददातु ओम शांति 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 But Agni as a Vaishnava, every time we do Havans, Agni has different names. Today's name will be Vaishnava. So I'm going to invite. Hari Om Agni Purohitam Yajnasya Vittidam Hotaram Ratnadatamam Hari Om Sri Sri Vaishnavanamagni Yavaha Yavaha Yatisya Yatisya Sriveya Sriveya Sriruddhasya Sriruddhasya Samakabhavya Samakabhavya Om Agni Purohitam Yajnasya Vittidam Hotaram Ratnadatamam Hari Om se to raje Bhayavastu devo vasavitah Pararpayatu se satamaya karmane Hari Om Om Agnyaya vitaye grinano happedadaye Nihota sasti varhasi Hari Om Om Agnyam Ayay Vaitoya Girnanoha Vedatoyai Toyai Naiho Tasai Saiva Ova Isi Hari Om Samno Devi Ravistaya Apo Bhavantu Vitaye Samno Devi Sarvandunam Om Shanti 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 Om Krishna Vai Sachidanandana Krishna Adi Purusha Krishna Purushottama Krishna Karmadi Moolam Krishna Saha Sarve Karya Krishna Kasam Gridadi Samuka Prabhu Pujya Krishna Nadi Satasmin Adinantarvahaye Yamangalam Daravate Kriti Om Shanti 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 Yam Brahma Vedanta Vido Vadanti Pare Pradhanam Purusam Dadanne Vishwasgate Karanam Ishwaram Va Tasmai Nama Vigna Vinasanaya Tasmai Nama Vigna Vinasanaya Tasmai Nama Vigna Vinasanaya Padvishna Paramam Padam Sadavasyanti Surya Divi Vajachuratatam Tadvi Prasadi Vinyav Jagravansa Samindate Vishnu Yat Paramam Padam.
So if you could please keep this in front of you, Mataji. Also, if you could come to the floor here so you could offer it. And when we offer, as we normally offer, the way we honor Prasadam, without touching with his finger, taking some Havan Samagri underarm, not overarm. So if you could please say Swaha each time you offer it. Om Bho. Whenever I say Swaha, it's Swaha, say Swaha. Om Bho Swaha Idam Visnavedam Namah. Om Bho Swaha Idam Achyutayidam Namah. Om Swaha Idam Narayanaidam Namah. Om Bhurbhuvaswa Swaha Idam Anantayidam Namah. Om Sri Sri Mangaladharana Homa Prarambha Karise. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Swaha Idam Gurave Idam Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthavitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamayyam Dadati Savanandikam. Swaha Idam Rupayidam Namah. Om Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yudapalakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagrana Raghunatam Vitam Dalgajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagrana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamsa. Swaha Idam Sri Guru Gauranga Radha Krishna Sarva Vishnu Swaha Idam Namah. Now please, if you could say your Guru Maharaj's pranam with your mind, and offer it 3 times. Say Swaha. Let's do it. Om Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale. Swaha Swaha Swaha. Om Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Swaha Idam ISKCON Samstapakacharya Idam Namah. Om Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desha Dharane. Swaha Idam ISKCON Samstapakacharya Idam Namah. Om Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Pranam Mantra Idaram Prarambha Karise. Om Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine. Swaha Idam Param Gurave Idam Namah. Sri Vaishnavanavi Devi Daita Kripadave Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namah. Swaha Idam Param Gurave Idam Namah. Om Madhurjojala Permadya Sri Rupa Nugavatita Sri Gaura Karuna Sakti Vigrahaya Namastute. Swaha Idam Param Gurave Idam Namah. Om Namaste Gauravani Sri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupa Nuga Viruddhana Siddhanta Dvantaharine. Swaha Idam Param Gurave Idam Namah. Om Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Bodhayate Namah. Swaha Idam Param Gurave Idam Namah. Om Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchit Ananda Namine Gaura Sakti Sarupaya Rupa Nugavarayate. Swaha Idam Mahagurave Idam Namah. Om Gaura Virbhava Bhumastam Nitaste Swajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Sri Jagannatayate Namah. Swaha Idam Param Gurave Idam Namah. Om Bansa Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Abhivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namah. Swaha Idam Vaishnavebhyo Idam Namah. Namo Mahavadaya
वदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेमामृतायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरकृष्णे नमः स्वाहा इदं गौरायदं नमः ओम पंचनत्त्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं स्वाहा इदं पंचतत्त्वायदं नमः ओम हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधा कांत नमस्ते स्वाहा ओम जयतं दुरतो बंगुर मम मंदमते गति मत सर्वस्य पादाम्भोजो राधा मदन मोहनं स्वाहा इदं संबंध आदिदेव मदन मोहनायदं नमः हरि ओम श्रीमद् रासर सारंभि वंशीवचततस्थिता कर्षन् भानु स्वरे गोपी गोपीनाथा श्रियते सुता स्नाः स्वाहा इदं प्रयोजनः आदिदेव गोपीनाथाय तं नमः ओम दत्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरे वृषभानुसुते देवी पुष्पामीन स्वाहा इदं राधाख्यायिदं नमः ओम जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद स्वाहा इदं पंचतत्त्वायिदं नमः ओम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे स्वाहा ओम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे स्वाहा ओम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे स्वाहा इदं राधा कृष्णाभ्यां इदं नमः ओम भू स्वाहा इदं अच्युतायदं नमः ओम भूः स्वाहा इदं नारायणायदं नमः ओम स्वः स्वाहा ओम भूर्भुवस्सु स्वाहा इदं अनन्तायदं नमः ओम तद्विष्णो परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूर्यात् दिवा चक्षुराततं तद्विप्रचोदिन्यावो चक्रवंश समिन्दते विष्णुर्यत्परमं पदं यं ब्रह्मा वेदान्त विदो वदन्ति परे प्रधानं पुरुषं तथान्ये विश्वोद्गते कारणमीश्वरं वा तस्मै नमः विघ्नविनाशनाय please come and hold this plate for Purnamati, please. And also please stand up. And I would request you to be small fires. Please take some little from your plate and give it to Maharaj. Just a little. And a really. We'd also take a little. Om Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Swaha Swaha Swaha. Please take some flour in your hand. We ask the Lord for forgiveness. Any shortcomings that we have made, knowingly and unknowingly, may the Lord forgive us. Om mantrahinam kriyahinam videhinam chayavavet astu tat sarva chidram krishna krishna prashadyata yat kinchit vaigunyam jatam tad dosa parsamanasya Sri Krishna smaranam karomi Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. And we do Parikrama, and then offer our Agni, and then Tilaka Dharanam. I apply some tilak from there. So let's do. Someone could lead the kirtan services, please. Yeah, please offer it into the fire.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna